Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Consciousness, where we talk about spirituality, the nature of the universe, God, and a whole bunch of topics related to really deep stuff. And today, we have uh, my friend and brother Eve, who I've known for about a month, um, and he's on a journey, as we all are, and he's lived a very deeply spiritual life. And we're just going to have a conversation today, and we're going to get to know each other. And we're going to talk about what spirituality means and what are the ways that we can best live life, not only for ourselves, but for the benefit of the universe. So, um, with that, Eve, do you want to say just a little bit about yourself, and then you just want to start talking?
Really? Should I? No. Anyway, thanks, Tom, for having me. Oh gosh. Well, I'm originally from Haiti. I've been living in the U.S. for 19 years now, 19 years and a half. So I just relocated from California. I was living in San Francisco and working in San Francisco, even though you're also from Palo Alto, to be here at Colombia. So to see, what's the next step for me. I just turned 45 a couple of weeks ago, so I'm old, much older than you. I've left my country when I was, I think, 22 or 23. I went to live in the Dominican Republic, which is the island next door to Haiti. Next to Haiti. I lived there for like 3 years, and then I came to the U.S. to travel with this group called Up With People. It's an international group for young people all over the world. So we travel around the world. We perform community service. We stay with local host families, and also we perform a Broadway-style show. And the purpose of the group was to build friendship to build a better world to friendship and understanding. Because after World War II, the founder of Upper People, his name is Blanton Belk, he said we have to find a way to prevent a World War III. So he thought if we could bring all the youth, from around the world and help them becoming friends when they're young. So of course when they become like 50, 60 and they are in position of power, so they would not have any intention or desire to start a World War III because they would be friends by then.
Wow.
So he said, let's bring the world together through friendship and understanding. So that was the motto of the people. So I did that for a year. Then I went to school in Wisconsin at Carroll University. Actually, it was Carroll College, now it's Carroll University. Did that for 2 years and then graduated with a BA in Spanish, minors in French and politics. Then I moved to Boston. I started working with the homeless. And I lived in Boston for 6 years. Then I moved to California in 2008. And I've been in California for 9 years. While I was there, I went to Australia to get a postgraduate certificate in international public health. And I moved back. And now I'm here in New York. So starting this journey with you, Tom. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thank you. So when would you say that you started living your life spiritually?
I guess it's funny. I think it was always there. I wasn't just aware of it. I think I was just not aware of it. First of all, growing up in Haiti, which is a very spiritual, country for many reasons. Most people know Haiti because of voodoo. Voodoo is a spiritual, religion, or we can call it some people say it's not a religion, it's a spiritual line or practice, however way you want to call it. I think, to me, I see it as a religion. Also, you can call it spiritual practice. But also Catholic. Christianity is very popular. So I would say, especially Protestant and Catholic. So I would say 90-95% of the Haitian population is Catholic. Catholic. But what most people do, they practice what we call syncretism. So they go to Catholic church or Protestant church, but also they practice voodoo, in their backyard. So they do both, So yeah. But I would say for me, when you said when my spiritual life started, I said it was always there. I think, from early age, because I would watch my mom. Every morning when she wakes up, she would make coffee, and before she would drink the first cup, either give it to me, she would pour 3 drops on the floor. She said, to the ancestors, to the spirits. And I was like, what is that? I don't see anybody. You know what I mean? I remember saying that. I was like, I don't know, 3 or 5 or something like that. But then that's something that she always does. She always did when I was a kid. So to me, I think that started there, because that acknowledgement that there are spirits or forces or entities that I don't see, that we do not see, but they are still part of our world, of our daily life. And as I get older, I'm definitely much more in tune with those spirits, with those forces, with those entities. And I definitely integrate them in my life like my mom did, but it took me a while. So to answer your question, I think, it started early on. But as I got older, I was becoming, and I'm still becoming more aware of that. So of what that spirituality is to my life, and how important it is for me to maintain it and integrate it with my daily living.
Yeah. So, um, how does your spirituality look? I mean, what are the most important parts of it? I mean, you talked about the spirits and your ancestors. Um, God, do you have a practice, a spiritual practice?
So, as I said earlier, most people in Haiti, they practice syncretism. So whether they're Catholic or the Protestant, but also they would practice voodoo, behind closed doors. So
Can
I
you say a word about what voodoo is? What is that? So that's magic, right? Basically.
Yes and no. So it's I don't want to say you're gonna have to Google it,
Right.
but it's definitely a tradition. It's something that we inherited from the slaves when they. So it's a set of religious beliefs that we inherited from the slave from they came from Africa, to the islands. So basically, of course, there's God. God, you don't see it, but also there are a number of spirits that you can call angels. And then in voodoo, they have a different names, or they're all different ones too. So you can actually see them on a I don't want to say on a regular basis. I mean, you don't actually see them. You can go to someone who can call them, who can be mounted, what we call mounted, who can
Wow.
become possessed with those spirits, and then ask for guidance and ask for remedy if you're sick, or if somebody's trying to hurt you, if they cast a spell on you. So we have people like that who were chosen, let's say, even before birth, that they were going to serve the spirit, that those people who have the gift to be mounted, by whatever spirits. But also we have people who go to some kind of initiation to become mounted also by those spirits as well. And I remember as a kid, I would always watch, that whole sort of calling, possessed possession, the state of being possessed. I always watch that process, and I would always watch that those people, before they call upon the spirit to come and mount them, they would always make the sign of the cross, meaning they would ask God first for permission, and then so that God would allow the spirits to mount them. And then I would see them going through a series of convulsion, like that, before, and then when the spirits arrives, and the person's voice and intonation would change, would not speak the same way anymore. It would speak differently, because actually it's not the spirit. And then the spirit would start telling you, oh, I saw you doing this yesterday, or or something is coming. Or it will give you information that no one else, or the person who's been mounted would not have known at all.
Wow.
But the spirit already knows, because again, they are angels. They energy, so they see things. They whatever. So.
Wow.
What was the question?
Let's think.
Oh, because you asked me, about like.
Oh yeah, just like your basic spiritual practice, like living your life.
So of course, because I was born and raised Catholic, so I would. I'm not gonna say I would go to church every Sunday, but I would try. I would try to go to church every Sunday, because Sunday I didn't want to go work up. But also I would attend those voodoo ceremonies in my neighborhood, or if my mom was going to one or whatever, I would go there. So there was always this whole thing. But again, as a kid, you believe that, oh, God is this old white man in heaven, and you have to follow him, respect your parents, whatever, you won't get into, you won't get into trouble. Um, but I think as I get older, I started understanding there was so much more to that. And also there was so much more to on daily action, because actually I remember I was 18 years old and I met this friend who had a total different approach to religion and spirituality than me. And we took me to a restaurant and we were having dinner. Actually, we met at church. It was funny. At the church at my school. And so he started telling me, he said, well, you know what, if, so I asked him, I said, do you believe in God? He said, yes, I believe in God, but I don't believe maybe in the same version of the God that you believe in. I'm like, really? What do you mean? He's like, well, first of all, I don't believe that there's a God, a whole white man in heaven, whatever, man or woman, who's very distant from us, up there. And I'm like, really? So what is your God? He said, well, I believe we are all part of God. He said, God is all that existed, that has ever existed. So you are a part of God. I am a part of God. The tree is a part of God. The table. I'm like, what? I was 18. I was like, what? This was the first time that anyone has ever mentioned this new approach to me, this new way of looking at what God is to me. That whatever. But again, actually, that person remained a good friend, and he was also a spiritual mentor to me. So I think that when he said that to me, I did not disregard it, but I was totally very intrigued, and I said, I think maybe it, I need to explore that more. Not just exploring, if God is all, but also exploring,